Hey, it's Alex, and today I am gonna do a chatty get ready with me, and we're just gonna do one layer at a time and talk and chill. The first thing we're gonna do is tone my face. My skin's been really dry because of the winter, so I'm gonna pull out my toner. So I'm using the Hyaluronic Acid Essence Toner from Miniso. So recently I wanted to talk about a lot of different things that have been, that I've been thinking about, but I haven't really expressed it in a way where it made sense. So I kind of finally thought about it. So currently I am wrapping up my third year in university, and I've never felt so anxious for some reason. And I know it's because I only have a year left of university. I've told everyone that I'm just so excited to graduate, and I think that's still true. Like, I've always been so ready to like just do more. I would come to school and just be so miserable. Not for any specific reason, it's just I'll be doing like actual projects. I'll be working, meeting with clients, and then I'll come back onto campus and I would feel this amount of anxiousness or like amount of like tiredness that I have never felt during the day. I think my time has expired in university, and it's definitely a time that I've cherished. I've met some of my greatest friends from university, but it's been a lot of self-discovery, and I finally feel like I'm in this position to do what I want to do and figure out where am I going. So I toned my face. I'm just gonna let that sink in. Pressing it into your skin actually lets your skin absorb product. Next up is a pore serum. It is like this like essence to like feeling. So as I was saying, I never really wanted to leave university up until like this year. I know I'm gonna finish my undergrad, that's for sure. I think there is a very important lesson to be learned about education and going into higher level education, and even being in an opportunity to pursue higher education. That in itself is a privilege that I think I have acknowledged. Pursuing higher education has been something that I know that the generation before hasn't had the experience to do, and so they fought everything for a better life, and part of that is having us be educated. So I think being educated and going through school is very important. I think I've learned enough for it to take me to the real world. For post-grad, I think my plans have always been to work or to do a master's. I've wanted to do a master's. I think my big one regret for my undergrad is that I didn't do my degree at Parsons, and that was my dream school. I've always wanted to go. It's just really expensive as an international student from Canada. If I had learned anything in my undergrad right now, is that whatever I do and I set myself up for, I know I'll figure it out and I'll make it work. I would have learned that lesson if I went straight to Parsons. And I think the master's question is really important for me because it's, again, that question about higher level education and not so much about getting a pay raise or job security. It's more so for myself. Parsons is a lot of money, right? And people who go to Parsons want to be at Parsons. That's just not even Parsons, but in general art school, like there is a desire to be there, and people want to go there because they've hustled to get in there, or they have the strong urge to go out of their way to go to a school that's out of their way. I think I need to be in that learning environment because I'm getting a lot of mixture from my university. There's so many different range of like energy that I tend to feel like I need to make up that energy whenever I'm in a conversation. And I feel it. Like midday, I feel it. I'm like, whoa, why am I like so tired? Next, I'm gonna use Super Glow by Glossier. It is a vitamin C serum. So vitamin C is actually brightens up your skin. People who don't know me, I do currently I freelance and I work part-time, and it's a lot of work. I don't see my friends a lot, and it's not glamorous in the least bit. Sure, you have all your projects that you can be proud of, but I feel like you need to stay back and do some work because the work is piling. And for the longest time, yeah, I would do that, but I think part of that is exploring my relationship with time and how I go about splitting up my time for my friends and for the people I care about. For me, freelance is a big part of me. It's how I learn. It's like my experiential learning, and that's also how I make money at the same time. Year 2, my second year, it was really me throwing myself into a lot of things and not knowing like where to go from there, because I felt like I just needed to do a lot and just be busy. It's that pressure of being always hustling, and I think it's felt more with creatives than anyone. It was a pressure to hustle, and that led me into doing a lot of extracurriculars. Looking back at them, I like don't regret it. Like, I've learned so much from doing everything that I've been doing. I was very selective with what I threw myself into. So the groups that I joined were the best of its best. Not that the vitamin C is on Glossier Future Dew. So my relationship with time has been on and off. I've always been so frustrated with not having enough time in the day, and then also like figuring out what the best way to manage my time. I think it's my relationship with productivity that I've kind of let loose on a little more, and I would get so mad at myself for not doing what I set out to do that day. And I think I needed to kind of reevaluate what I was doing every day and just give myself the time to be like, this is something that will take more than one day to do. I think I had to really measure out the workload of everything I was doing, because I just had so much false expectation for myself. My priorities were out of whack, and I can't really dictate what that looks like for other people, because other people's tolerance with time is different. So I can't be like, hey, I'm so productive, why don't you just wake up in the morning and do it? Meanwhile, people might be zombies in the morning, but I'm a morning person. It's a lot of like self-actualizing, and you can't do it until go through it. Figuring out what doesn't work has been a 2-year process. Even in the beginning, I knew that I needed to take time, and I never took the actual time in high school to figure it out, because I could just forget about it, right? And I think there's that naiveness that comes with high school. I was having fun, I was meeting people, I was going to concerts, I was living my best life. I don't even talk to a lot of those people anymore. They're just not part of my day-to-day anymore. The next thing is I'm going to use a Retinol 0.5% and Squaline. It's also a weird time right now. Everyone really is focused on getting their internships and doing stuff in the summer, so I can't really tell them, hey, like, do you want to hang out? For me, I never had this worry because I worked so hard to get up to this point. They all have different schedules that are like conflicting to mine, so I rarely see them. So it's hard to feel like you're surrounded with so many people yet feel so isolated. And that's the thing with freelance, that it's quite terrifying, that you can work wherever, you can work remote, but like that routine of seeing familiar faces, it's not there, and you kind of have to be okay with it. So next I'm putting on the Priming Moisturizing Rich from Glossier. And university has been a time. I've learned some of the hardest lessons I have come across, and I wouldn't change a thing. I'm gonna go. It's time to see the world, be an adult, do the adulting. Like, the idea of such rigid schedule and pattern. So my idea of a corporate job is 9 to 5 in a box, cubicle, and just the most like life soul-sucking thing. I'm working on figuring out what that means for me. But at the time being, I like love what I'm doing. And everyone that I've met, I 100% have made me learn something, has forced me to figure out something about myself. The last step, most important step, is SPF. I use the Ordinary Mineral UV Filter SPF 30 with antioxidants. So that's pretty much it for this time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're feeling. Where are you in your education career? You can talk to me on Instagram or Twitter or both. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys next time.